Hello everyone, and if this is your first visit to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This video will cover identity theft, looking first at some of the ways to secure your personal information and prevent identity theft, before going on to look at the signs that your identity may have been stolen and what to do if that happens. We have covered some of the steps involved in securing your personal information in previous videos about avoiding scams. For example, we have talked about securing your important personal documents and shredding or destroying any documents that you no longer require. This includes shredding envelopes and junk mail that may have your details on it, and removing things like your name, address, and phone number from parcels that you have received before recycling the boxes. Secure your mailbox to prevent access to your mail. In previous videos on avoiding scams, we have also talked about how criminals will contact you via phone, email, and text, pretending to be legitimate companies or government agencies to trick you into providing your personal or financial details. These scams are very sophisticated and appear legitimate. Please have a look at those videos for the details and tips on how to spot an imposter and avoid giving sensitive information to criminals. We have also briefly discussed the importance of making sure that information about you is not freely available online, and this topic will be discussed further now. For example, many people make a lot of personal information inadvertently available about themselves on social media, not realizing how many people can access the information that they have posted. The first step is to become aware of how privacy settings work on social media and ensure that your profile is private and that your posts are set to private or friends only. Be selective about your friends list as well. If you need to have a public account or make public posts, avoid sharing personal information or images that could indicate where you live, work, or go to school. Even when using good privacy practices on social media, I advise providing the minimal amount of information possible and not providing sensitive information at all. For example, most social media accounts require a date of birth upon sign-up, ostensibly to prevent underage users from accessing content that they shouldn't, because that always works, but mostly for their own profit, as in for targeted advertising purposes. Your date of birth is definitely sensitive information. I recommend using a fake. You can stay within a year or two of your correct age if you're concerned with being dishonest, but choose a year, month, and date that are all different from your correct birth date. This goes for any sensitive information demanded by social media companies or other websites. Slight changes to address and suburb, presuming it is not anyone that you will ever need to receive mail from, and using slight alterations to your name or nicknames can all be helpful in protecting your privacy. If all you want to do is keep in contact with distant friends and family and enjoy the benefits of social media, then these companies do not need to know all of your detailed personal information. The record of some of them in securing all of the information that they collect from their users is spotty at best. And that's when they aren't just blatantly selling their users' information. But that's a topic for another video. Beyond social media, these principles also go for employment websites, dating websites, and anything similar. Check your privacy settings and supply the minimum amount of information required to be able to achieve what you want to do. Be aware of who can see what you are posting and who they might share it with. Avoid providing a lot of information or creating accounts with websites if you don't need to, or if you will only be using them occasionally. And just be aware of when and where you are providing your personal and financial information online. Ask yourself why exactly they need all of your information and is it worth it? To prevent identity theft, it is also important to secure all online accounts with unique and strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. By unique, I mean using a different password for each account. This is especially essential for your email, banking, government, utility, employment, and social media accounts, but ideally should also be applied to all online shopping and other accounts too. Really strong and unique passwords can be difficult to remember, but you can use a password manager, or if you prefer the low-tech solution, a password notebook that you keep secure with your important personal documents. Change all of your passwords regularly, every 6 months at a minimum. A strong password is at least 14 characters long and has a random mix of lower and uppercase letters, numbers, and symbols. A weak password is a recognizable word, possibly followed by a few numbers. Even worse is a password involving names, numbers, and dates associated with people close to you, such as your family or friends or even your pets. Weak passwords can be easily cracked in a few seconds to a few minutes with some basic software, while a strong password could take years for a hacker to crack. That is why good passwords are so important. It is also very important to secure your household Wi-Fi connection with a very strong and unique password, unless you want your neighbours or random folks on the street potentially hijacking your connection and your monthly data allocation, or possibly intercepting your internet traffic and your most sensitive information. Also remember to secure your computer and devices with strong passwords or passcodes. Our phones tend to contain our entire lives these days. Make sure this information is not easy for anyone to access if you misplace it or it is stolen. The next tip for avoiding identity theft is to avoid using public computers to log into accounts or conduct transactions. If you absolutely must do so, ensure that you log out of all of your accounts, clear the history, and close the browser before you leave. Also, avoid using public Wi-Fi to log into important accounts, enter sensitive information, or conduct transactions. Don't allow your devices to automatically connect to any nearby Wi-Fi network. If you must use a public Wi-Fi network, use a VPN. A VPN is also a handy tool for use at home as an extra layer of protection when logging into important accounts or conducting important transactions at the very least. Be wary of using some free VPNs, as they can actually be scams designed to steal your personal information. Some good internet security software suites provide a limited amount of free VPN usage with your subscription, or a permanent VPN for a small added fee. There are also reputable VPN companies out there that provide a small amount of free usage or more options via a reasonably priced subscription. I am rather fond of Proton VPN. That's not sponsored, just my opinion. I'll add a link below with a comparison of some of the best VPN options. Your computer and every one of your devices also needs to be secured by a security software suite. This software protects you and your information from hackers, malicious software, including spyware, and much more. It is essential. Most subscriptions now offer licenses for multiple devices. Make sure you protect your computer, phone, and any tablets you may have. I have used most of the well-known security suites over the years, such as Norton, McAfee, Trend Micro, and Bitdefender, and any of them will do the job. Bitdefender has been my favorite for a while now. Again, that's not sponsored, just my opinion. I'll add a link below with a comparison of different security suites. Another step to prevent identity theft is to check your credit report regularly, ideally at least once a year. This will let you be aware of any suspicious activity, such as criminals applying for credit in your name and destroying your credit score. You can also set up credit alerts on your credit report, which will let you know when your credit report has been accessed, such as to apply for credit in your name. I will add a link in the video description with further information on setting up alerts on your credit report. It is also recommended to keep an eye on your bank statements for any unusual transactions. If you spot anything suspicious, follow up with your bank. As a last tip, I would suggest that you place a PIN on your account with your mobile phone provider to help prevent your SIM being ported or hijacked by criminals who have gained access to some of your personal information. Now we will look at some of the potential signs that your identity may have been stolen, and then look at the steps that you can take if this happens. One possible sign of identity theft is that you are unexpectedly refused credit despite being sure that you have a good credit score. It may not just be the banks cracking down on credit requirements. Check your credit report to make sure. Another potential sign of identity theft may be unusual charges on your bank account or credit card statement. Another one may be that you don't receive mail that you are expecting, such as utility bills or a replacement driver's license, Medicare, or other important ID card. You may also get a notification that your replacement ID or anything similar is on the way, even though you never ordered one. Or you might just start getting a lot of calls, emails, or texts about products or services that you have never ordered. You might also start getting a lot of strange contact in general via email, phone, text, or social media, or contact from debt collectors. Another sign may be that you suddenly lose mobile phone reception or receive a message advising that you have requested that your phone number be ported to a new network. This may suggest that someone is attempting to or has succeeded in porting or hijacking your SIM card. Once your SIM has been ported, criminals can then use your phone number to circumvent multi-factor authentication, gain access to your accounts, and reset your passwords. Now we will have a look at what to do if you suspect that your identity may have been stolen or is at risk after a data breach. Number 1 is to contact your bank immediately and explain what has happened. They can guide you through securing your accounts. Step number 2 is to lock your credit report to prevent anyone from taking out credit in your name. Number 3 is to change all of your passwords immediately. This is a very important step. Number 4 is to contact your phone company if your SIM card has been ported or hijacked. Number 5 is to contact ID Care for further guidance and specialized advice. I'll place a link in the description below. Number 6 is to report the situation to any company, organization, or websites where your account may have been compromised. And step number 7 is to make sure that you report the incident to the relevant law enforcement authorities. I hope that you have found some of the information in this video useful. I will provide links to the relevant organizations where you can find more information in the video description below. Thank you for watching. If you did find this video useful, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. This lets the YouTube algorithm know that this content was useful, so that this video may be suggested to others looking for similar information. Feel free to comment below with any questions or topics that you would like to see covered in the future.